So, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Candid Convos. As you know, in this section, we like to interview our Get Stepped Up clients to know a little more about their experiences with their virtual assistants, with their virtual staffers from Get Stepped Up. Today, we have a very special guest. Her name is Heather Keith from the Keith Family Law. Welcome, Heather.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining, for making the time. And well, first of all, we would like to ask you about your firm. What do you do?
Well, I own a family law firm and we do divorce and family law. I'm here in New Jersey, and it's me and another senior attorney. We've got a paralegal, and yeah, we do divorce without drama. So we try to stay out of litigation, and we try to treat everybody with respect and just get people from point A to point B without destroying their families.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And well, as mentioned before, you are a client of Get Stepped Up, and that means that you have a virtual staffer from us,
Yeah, I sure do.
and it's a virtual administrative assistant named Lynn.
Yep, that's right.
So where is he settled on?
So Lynn is, she's from South Africa, and we were really very apprehensive about having a virtual assistant in the first place because our brand, if you will, is like we're very people focused, and we're used to having all of our people in the same place at the same time and working together. If there's anything that COVID has really taught us, it's that that's really actually quite limiting. So when we've been sort of disbanded for, we'll say it's been over a year now. So I'm here in the office, but we don't work together in the office. We're mostly at home. So the first thing we did was we arranged our technology so that we're able to work from home, so that everybody's got their computers, and we have a chat system going on, and we have a VoIP for our phone system. So we were able to really sort of kind of disperse and start to work from home. And it really, one of the first things that happened was that since we're not here, we had a receptionist, but then I was like, well, we don't really need a receptionist, to be honest, because we're not receiving people right now, and I don't know if we will, in the near future or not. So one of the first decisions that we had to make was, it's not that we couldn't, that we were doing like that we couldn't afford one, but it's just like she had like literally no work to do because we had the phones were getting more quiet as people shift over to email. She wasn't needing to get coffee for people because we weren't seeing people in person, but we did still have a certain amount of work that needed to be done, but just not in that capacity. So that's one of the changes that we had made, is that the person that we had in that position was specifically trained for that in-person activity. And that's what she really wanted to do. So since we didn't have that position anymore, then that position just sort of evaporated. We are paperless now, so we didn't even have anybody that we needed to scan or deal with paper or receive the mail or anything like that. So that position just kind of went away. But we still had a lot of projects going on, and we had like a lot of things to do with I'm in how to manage a small law firm, and they keep us hopping with different projects that we need to do. We need to understand our numbers. To understand our numbers, we need to dive into our, what our cases are doing, and be very strict about job descriptions and key performance indicators and things that I had not had an exposure to before. So there's a lot of housekeeping to do and special reports to do and things like that. And it was falling on me because I was the only one who knew about it. So, like I said, I have my attorney, and I'm not going to have my attorney doing any of that. And I have my paralegal, and I'm not going to have my paralegal doing that. And I have another sort of part-time person, but at the end of the day, I really needed somebody who could anchor all of that. So I turned to Get Staffed Up because I had, first of all, heard so many great things about Get Staffed Up. Yeah, and it would just really open my mind about opening geographically, right? To consider other people. And I was very nervous. I didn't know, would there be cultural differences? Would there, would English be the first language? Because these are, I knew that these people would have a certain amount of interaction between, us and the outside world as well. So, and how would I manage this person? You know, how would I even know that they were doing what they're supposed to be doing? Because the culture here in the United States is oftentimes, if I can look over there and make and see that my paralegal is on her computer and doing her thing, then I feel more relaxed. But what I have learned is that even that is not really, that is not enough to, you know, she could be going like this and ordering shoes for all I know.
Totally.
So, you know, so it was really sort of a professional awakening, and a maturing on our part to, you know, sort of open our minds to the idea that we're virtual. So that means that just really took down all the barriers. And I thought, well, why do I need to be limited to somebody who lives in my county? You know, because before it's like, well, you got to find somebody who's local, who's willing to drive to your office. And that really, really limits the pool. In my area, that's going to be for entry level things, that's going to be like, you know, maybe college kids, or, you know, just out of high school, or maybe just out of paralegal program. And, you know, the longevity, we don't know if they're going to stay or if they're going to head off to college or what they're going to do. So yeah, so I just decided to take the plunge and find out what it was all about. So that's how we got into it.
That's amazing. And yeah, like you mentioned, this COVID situation certainly forced everyone to make these adaptations. And I don't know, maybe this virtual world will be the next future, you know, the next normal, and this will keep on staying because we noticed with this that it opens up great broad of opportunities. That is that right?
Yeah, what it really taught me is that there are a lot of people in the world who are really looking for work. You know, they're very willing. They're very motivated. They're you know that it's a myth that there are not people out there with even just higher education. Like I'm interviewing for my second assistant now, and through Get Staffed Up, and we're running into all kinds of people who they've held managerial positions. They've done all kinds of things that here in the United States, if you hold a managerial position, then you're going to be looking for, you know, a position that is, you know, first of all higher probably than, you know, higher sort of up in the levels, and the cost is just prohibitive. And then they can also have a work ethic that might be a little different than what I've experienced with the Get Staffed Up uppers is there's just incredible work ethic, just an incredible work ethic. This is like, that's been one of the very pleasant surprises that I had in working with my first, like I say, my assistant Linda's from South Africa, and you know, she speaks British English. And so first of all, it's kind of fun because you know, she sounds very posh on the phone. You know, she's like, oh, you know, she has this fun accent. And but you know, aside from that, what I really have to say about her is that she just has just an incredible work ethic. She just works so hard all the time. She's always asking me if there's anything else she can do. Can she contribute? You know, here's a spreadsheet that I made for you. She's always a step ahead. She's always like, she has taught us to over communicate with each other. There were certain things that we just as a firm we're still, even though we were working remotely, we still were not over communicating like we really needed to. So she actually she's like, look, you know, I got to tell you, I really like working for you guys, and I can see that there are gaps here for you. Like, how would you like for me to set up a system that helps everybody communicate with each other and that helps you keep on track with my calendar is ridiculous. It's insane. It really is. And so, and I was really struggling in keeping my calendar, but also keeping my to-dos. And so she created a system that I mean, this is kind of this is like a miracle to me. She created a system that keeps me out of my email, which was eating up a big chunk of my day. Is like I would spend all day in my email being worried that I was going to miss something. And that's why I was there. And I would get distracted and get distracted and get distracted. And I couldn't get my really important things done during the day. Well, she's like, look, you know, tell you what, I will be in there and I will decide for you, like, you give me some guidance and I will decide for you what's super important. And we're gonna make them, we're gonna prioritize P1, P2, P3. This is the most important thing. This is like the category of most important things that you need to look at. This is a category of like lesser important things that once you get done with your super high priority, you can check in here. And then P3 is like, maybe it gets done and maybe it doesn't get done. like, oh my God, like, wow. Like, really? Like, you can do that? Like, that's a thing and you know how to do it? And she's like, of course, like, this is just like the level of experience that I've run into with the Get Staff Uppers that's just blown me away. It's like I feel like I have to say, I feel like I'm not even training them. I feel like in some ways they're training me. So I just like, I can't say enough good things about the people that I've run into with Get Staffed Up. I mean, just the level of professionalism has been really good, and the hiring process has been really good as well. Like, we're in the process right now, and it's tempting to sort of, you want to hire somebody that you like personally, but at the same time, you need somebody who's really going to fit in that slot,
Totally.
no
Yeah.
matter what. Yeah. And so I find that working with the person who's working with me, and then there's a matchmaker that works in the background, and then I give my person, my criteria, and she gets back with it with a person who works with her, and then she gives me candidates. And the candidates that I get are very much in line with what I asked for. So I have to be careful, because if I ask for a certain person, that's going to be the person I get. So that's also teaching me to be really, really clear about, first of all, to get really clear about who it is that we need, and then convey that very clearly to my person at Get Staffed Up, because they're going to match me with all kinds of candidates that are that they really do. Like, if we ask for a salesperson, we're going to get a salesperson. If we ask for somebody who's super personable, we're going to get somebody super personable. And right now we're looking for somebody to work the front desk. So we're going through a few candidates, and any of it's just because we're really holding out, if you were, for a really good match. Any one of these candidates we could have trained up. I don't want to make that wrong impression. Any one of these candidates, we could have said, oh, if they were here in New Jersey, like, oh my gosh, I can totally work with this. But since I know that Get Staffed Up has so many really excellent candidates, we go through them quickly, and we are presented with their writing samples and a video of them, so we can get to see them and meet them, like sort of meet them ahead of time. And then we're allowed to then tailor our interview. We get an interview with them. We're allowed to tailor our interview. We can do role plays. We can have them answer questions ahead of time to get some idea of like what they're like and what their experiences are ahead of time. Then we get to interview them. We can have them do whatever it is that we need to understand whether they're going to fit the role well or not.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing. And we love to hear, of course, this feedback. And yeah, we try to be as detail oriented in our hiring process as we ask the virtual staffers to be. That's one of the most important things for us. And well, can you share with us a little about your delegated tasks you assigned to Lynn?
Well, like I say, she's created her own. Right. So Lynn was brought on to help me. I'm the owner, and there isn't anybody administrative here that I could really sort of lean on. And so I was looking for somebody who was mature, who was experienced, who I didn't, who wasn't like a kid, who had a little bit under their belt and could just help me manage what's going on. And it's a growing firm. There are lots of changes happening. Like I say, we are members of HTM, and they give us all kinds of things to do. So we are not resting on our laurels at all. Always moving forward, and so much to do: policies and procedures manuals, and training materials, and key performance indicators, job descriptions to work up. Like I say, training manuals and things like that. It's just like kind of getting everything in order. So I was looking for someone who had a lot of really highly developed organizational skills, who would be able to really self-start, and who would be able to contribute. This is like sort of beyond my wildest dreams. As somebody who would care in the first place and not think of this as just a job. Somebody who would get what we're trying to do, which is to create a new roadmap for divorce, that we don't have to do scorched earth, and that we're trying to take care of our clients and the family as they go through the divorce, and treat everybody with respect and dignity. And I didn't even really know what I needed. I just needed, I was in that place where I knew I needed somebody who would just be, for lack of a better expression, like kind of my right-hand person. Because I just had so many things on my plate that I just needed to be able to give this person whatever they could handle. And so, I would give her, like, here's a spreadsheet to update. Here, like, you're going to be the liaison between us and our answering service. So you will do like a certain, you'll basically be, she stepped right in and became a buffer between me and the outside world.
Amazing. Thank you, Heather, a lot for this feedback. We're loving this. And well, before we go, can you please share with us your contact information for everyone that's watching this that might be interested in working with you, with your firm?
Sure. Yeah, well, my name is Heather Keith, and I own Keith Family Law, and we're in Westfield, New Jersey. You can find us at www.keithfamilylaw.com. If you want to give us a call, it's 908-233-4555. You can email us. You can find us on Facebook. Get on our mailing list. If you go to the website, you can just jump right on, and we'd be happy to hear from you.
Perfect. Thank you, Heather, once again. And thanks everyone for watching this Candid Convo episode. And I'll see you next time.